Let's tackle it head on. Joining me, Kelly Hyman, veteran trial attorney, analyst, podcast star of Once Upon a Crime in Hollywood. Kelly, go ahead. I'm ready for you. See, I know what you're going to say, and I'm ready for you. Go ahead, attack the DNA. I'm ready.
DNA is key to this case. Why is DNA so important? Because the DNA can prove who was there. The DNA can help substantiate who was in the house at this time. The police went in and then 2 weeks later find this DNA. All of a sudden, after 2 weeks, it's found. Now, I could see a lot of couch investigators saying that there's something wrong with that. Why didn't they find this DNA the first time? Why is it all of a sudden being found, Nancy?
Okay, there you go. That's just a tiny, tiny tidbit. Kelly Hyman is actually being generous and delicate with this attack, because let me assure you that when and if this goes to trial, there will be a frontal attack on this DNA. Here's my response. So they find the perp, okay? This DNA has already been found, okay? Even though it's late to the party. When they find the perp, that's going to be much later. So what? They're mind readers? They now know who the perp is. They go get his DNA and they plant it? Yeah. Here's the gold standard, Mark Class. When his daughter Polly went missing, she was abducted in a sleepover party of her and her little friends at her mom's home. Well, they came bamming on his door and he went, fine, take my fingerprints, do whatever you want. Search my place, search my car, search my office. I'll do a poly right now so you can get past me and find my daughter. So I don't see a problem with everybody connected to Nancy Guthrie getting a polygraph. Now, of course, they are not allowed in a criminal trial unless stipulated ahead of time. We all know that. All the legal eagles know that. But I have used polygraphs as an investigative tool in the past.
No stone should go unturned, Nancy, in this case. And so the polygraph should be done as well. And you're right. You bring up a really good point. If there's nothing to hide, if there's, transparency, then it's really important for people to give polygraphs. It's really important for people to give up their DNA, which, the family has given their DNA and been ruled out as a suspect. But going back to the DNA, it's really important that this kind of stuff is key to the case. Why the DNA is so important, because it can help substantiate who is there, and DNA can be used in the court of law. Of course, now the DNA that was found 2 weeks later could potentially be challenged, but it's really important to look at what is available. What is available in regards to resources that are out there, whether it's using the FBI database or potentially also looking at genetic databases as well, like something like 23andMe, in which people can opt out of their information, and so that can't be discovered. However, with a court of law, potentially can get a warrant out there to look at that DNA as well.
Kelly Hyman, what about the theory she's being held in Mexico or was taken to Mexico? Maybe not that night, maybe later. But why set up a stash house in Mexico when you could do it right there in Tucson?
So when we look at this from a legal perspective, we have to think that Mexico has different laws. And so it's really important that the investigators not only look at stuff going on in Arizona, but also Mexico as well. So not only this crossing the lines have significant legal implications as well, because we are getting another place as Mexico involved in this investigation. So why not was this looked at first? Why not investigate about Mexico and try and find out exactly what's going on, especially the fact that it's so close to the border as well. So hopefully the Mexican Police Department will be working with the U.S. and also working with the FBI in order to make sure that they can find her.
Kelly, what do you think about this? I don't know if it would hurt a trial or not. Maybe. How?
Well, when you look at it from a legal perspective and you think about the trial, that you have to look at the prosecution that brings the case. They have to prove every element of the crime. They have to prove every element. So when you look at that, you're only going to be looking at what exactly the charges are, whether it's kidnapping, and what are the elements to prove those crimes. Because when the jury sit, as you know, Nancy, they're not supposed to look at outside evidence. They're only supposed to look at evidence that is going to affect the case and that is going to help substantiate the case as well. And so when the juries look at that, they're just going to look at the charges and also what the prosecution to prove up the case.